Gospel is the resurrection of Jesus Christ from the dead. The truth that God's love is more powerful than every single consequence of sin itself. Listen, sin entered the world and it brought with it the greatest evils: suffering, pain, sickness, and death. The ultimate consequence, not just physical death, but eternal death, separation from God forever, hell. And here comes the Lord, Jesus Christ. And man, he took it all on. The evil one's like, listen, I'm gonna prove and I'm gonna show you that I'm Lord, not you, and you will taste everything I throw at you. And he did. The evil one threw his best shot at Jesus. And he killed him. Jesus died. Jesus suffered. He was crucified. And yet God's love raised him from the dead. Jesus took the best shot of the evil one, and he was like, I win, you lose, I'm Lord, not you, I have victory. Man, Jesus Christ rising from the dead changed everything. I mean, right now in Jesus Christ, because he rose from the dead, you, me, we have access in him to that resurrection power. In the midst of my circumstances, in the midst of my sinfulness, in the midst of all the sufferings and the things that we can be going through, he is Lord. The gospel of Jesus reigns now. I remember for myself, when I had these personal experiences where the resurrection power touched my life. 18 years old, I left the Lord completely. I jumped into as much drugs, alcohol, promiscuity. I went for what the world says brings me happiness. And man, I was caught hook, line, and sinker, and I'll tell you right now, sin, man, it destroyed me. I was dead inside. I was experiencing those consequences of the reality of what sin does. And man, by God's goodness, I remember being able to go to confession for the first time in I don't even know how long. And in the moment of hearing Jesus Christ absolve me of my sins, to actually experience physically like the weight of my sin crushed, destroyed, and being free, forgiven, new life. Oh my goodness, like I experienced the resurrection. I was lost, man, I was then found. I was dead, I was now alive. Sin wasn't the last word in the reality of my life, but the victory in the resurrection of Jesus Christ was. That even in the midst of all the difficulty, God drew good out of that. I mean, here I am. I went from bartender to priest. Talk about Jesus Christ drawing good from something horrific. I mean, that's the resurrection. That's the good news. The fact that God's love is stronger, more powerful than any sin, any death, anything we could ever go through, anything we have gone through. Men of the gospel always have hope. We always, no matter what's going on, look at situations through that lens. That we don't ever give up. Why? Because Jesus rose. We don't ever say die. Why? Because Jesus rose. We don't ever give in and say sin is more powerful. This situation is impossible. Oh man, God can't do that. What do you mean God can't do that? God was risen. He raised him from the dead. Are you kidding me? Nothing is impossible for God. That's the man of the gospel. What are you suffering with? Like, what's the struggle that you're going through? Is there an addiction? Is there areas in your heart where you've maybe lost hope in your family's life? Whatever it may be, what is that situation? Because I want to challenge you to begin to speak the resurrection power into that and over that as a man of the gospel. To stand in the midst of that difficulty, whatever you're going through, and to say, no, Jesus is still Lord. Jesus, you rose from the dead, then you have power over this. That my sin, this suffering, whatever it may be, is not more powerful than you. And if you rose, I'm not gonna give up. And if you rose, then you're gonna draw good from it. And I'm gonna stand in this. I challenge you guys to begin to speak, to begin to see with this new perspective, to be men of the gospel, the good news that Jesus Christ is risen from the dead. Awesome, guys. So glad you could join me today. Listen, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe to this channel, like the video, leave a comment, and yeah, can't wait to see you guys next time. Bless you guys.